The Kansas City Chiefs are off to an 11-1 start in the 2024 NFL season, but it has been as contentious and rocky and turbulent an 11-1 start as anyone could hope for. If you want to wrap things up in that way, which the national media loves to do, I don't know why, but anyway, I got rid of those complaints in this morning's video. I am back again with another video because if you wanted to blame something for the beginning of this season, guys, it might be the 2024 NFL Draft. Just think of it this way. The Kansas City Chiefs have had difficulties with the wide receiver core. Their first-round pick was a wide receiver. The Kansas City Chiefs have had problems along the offensive line, the tackle spots. They drafted a tackle in the second round. In fact, they drafted 3 offensive linemen with 7 picks. That's 4 picks between the offensive line and wide receiver. They've had problems with the passing game in general, and some of that could be laid at the foot of, the tight end position. They drafted a tight end named Jared Wiley, who's now on the IR. And as far as the defense is concerned, basically everything comes down to the secondary, at least so it seems. I mean, they have trouble getting to the quarterback, but the quarterback just lets her rip whenever he wants. They drafted a cornerback, the Chiefs did, who's no longer with the team. And they drafted a safety. Well, that safety is with the team, and he's starting to emerge. Now, I don't think that the 2024 NFL Draft for the Kansas City Chiefs was a bad one. In fact, I think we're going to get to a point in this video where I talk a little bit about how good I think that draft has the potential to be. But one player who is being unsung, perhaps especially so, in this class is Jaden Hicks. We have an article today from KC Kingdom, and author Devin Plantain Chips. An article titled, Andy Reid Reveals Chiefs Rookie is Making Waves with Coaches, subtitled, One Kansas City Chiefs rookie defender has earned himself a lot of respect in head coach Andy Reid's eyes following Week 13. The article states the following. Chiefs News. Andy Reid praises Jaden Hicks on Monday afternoon. Reid had nothing but good things to say about Hicks' recent performance. The 66-year-old coach even went as far as saying the rookie safety had the right to an increased role based on what he's done on the gridiron. Hicks is a good player. Him working in there is a positive, Reid said about the rookie defender per A to Z Sports' Charles Goldman. He's a young guy who is progressing. The coaches trust him. We'll see how things go moving forward. He's earned the right to play more. After being stuck in a special teams role to begin his NFL career, Hicks has seen more defensive opportunities lately. The ex-Washington State product went from playing 38 total defensive snaps in his first 8 appearances to at least 12 in each of his last 4 outings, culminating in a season-high 24 against the Raiders on Friday. It's taken some time for him to become comfortable as a professional, but Hicks is starting to put everything together. The 2024 133rd overall pick has tallied 12 solo tackles, 1 interception, and a broken-up pass in his first 12 games, while carrying grades of 74.8 for overall defense and 73.4 for coverage on Pro Football Focus. That's without bringing up his impressive 84.4 tackling grade after making good on every single one of his attempts thus far. Go check out KC Kingdom for the full article. What is on your screen right now is the stat line for Jaden Hicks thus far this season. Baltimore week 1 at the top, and the Raiders this last week, week 13, at the bottom. You will see almost all the way to the right-hand side there Defensive snaps, 0 in week 1, then 5, then 3, 5, 0, 7, 9, 9. In the last 4 weeks, as the article states, 16 snaps, 12 snaps, 12 snaps, 24 snaps. Here's something very interesting and worth noting here. He has played in multiple games on defense and almost always collects a tackle. Almost always collects at least a tackle. Maybe doesn't seem all that impressive, but this is a rookie. This is a rookie making his debut on the NFL field, and so one of the things that we saw last year towards the end of the season, I believe it was a little bit later than this for Chamari Connor, but towards the end of the season, Chamari Connor started getting a little bit more work. And in the playoffs, there were times where he was absolutely rock solid. He is, in my opinion, suffering from a bit of a sophomore slump, but those things happen. I think Jaden Hicks is constructed in the manner that we might not see that from him. Here are his measurables: 6'2", that's 79th percentile, 9 3/8 inch hands, that's around the 50th, a 4.50 40-yard dash, that's 73rd percentile, not blazing speed, but certainly for a guy who is 211 pounds, 6'2", 211 pounds, 4.5 speed is serviceable. The vertical of 37.5 inches, it says they're only 75th percentile. That's true, but he's a big safety. So being in the 79th percentile in height, but the 70th or 75th percentile in vertical means that he's a bit explosive for his size. A 3-cone drill of 6.88, that is 70th percentile. It is also a number that is skewed. See that short shuttle there, 4.37 at the combine, is 16th percentile. Why do I say that these cone drills are skewed? Well, simply because of this. So many scouts put such an emphasis on these cone drills for obvious reasons. Football is a stop-and-go sport that very few guys end up participating in them. Basically, the only guys who end up participating in the cone drills are guys who know they're going to smash it. So if you have 100 prospects and only 10 guys do the drill because they are the 10 guys who know they're going to get fast times, well, all of a sudden, that percentile, is way out of whack, skewed towards the best numbers possible. So he ended up with a 122-inch broad jump, 58th percentile, 16 reps on the bench press is 42nd percentile. That is another exercise which very few people actually do anymore, so that is a little bit out of what is actually the case as well. Now, here's one of the big things about Jaden Hicks coming on. Justin Reid is having a confusing season. Justin Reid, it sometimes looks really good, and it sometimes does not look like an NFL player. So the fact that Justin Reid makes just a shade over $10 million per year is difficult to justify with some of the games that we have seen him perform just this season. Last season, I thought Justin Reid had a really good season. The year before that, almost invisible, at least if you ask me. Maybe I'm wrong. Jaden Hicks on this rookie contract makes just about $1 million per season. The Kansas City Chiefs are cash-strapped. They will be cash-strapped so long as they have the best player in all of football, even though the best player in all of football is playing on a severely discounted contract. But it's going to be the case. It's going to be the case so long as they have to draft so late in each round that they end up with holes they have to try to fill with free agents like Jawaan Taylor, $20 million man per season, right? These types of contracts hurt the team, but they have to get done. How else are you really going to fill the holes on your roster when you're drafting 30th, 31st, and 32nd every season? So, the emergence of someone like Jaden Hicks is absolutely necessary for that defensive backfield to end up improving. And here's another talking point for this. The 2024 NFL draft yielded Xavier Worthy, who's already a decent wide receiver and I think is going to grow into one of the premier gadget players in the NFL, as well as maybe in the top echelon of number 2 wide receivers. Look, it's possible he becomes a number 1. I don't know the mechanics of that. I don't know how you base your offense around what it is that Xavier Worthy has proven he can do right now. Maybe he grows, but I don't know how that would work. Anyway, upper echelon number 2 wide receiver in the NFL, that's a win. That's a hit. They got Jaden Hicks, who is starting to look like he has the ability to be a future starting safety in the NFL. That's a win. That's a hit. They have Hunter Nourzad, who's getting reps every game and looks to me to be a starter down the line, whether that's replacing Trey Smith this next season, as he is unlikely to re-sign with the Kansas City Chiefs, or Joe Thuney the following season. Whatever the case, I think Hunter Nourzad can step onto the field and figure that out. That's a hit. That's a win. Kingsley Suamataia, who I do still believe in whom I do still believe. I think that Kingsley has all of the tools. I think that right now, for whatever reason, Kingsley and Wanye are making some of the same mistakes on the field. One of them is that when you have help chipping, you don't overset and let the edge player cut underneath you. For whatever reason, they are both overstepping on that set step, on that drop step. And they are allowing the edge player to cut right underneath them. For whatever reason, they're both making that mistake time and time again. Still, I believe that Kingsley Suamataia has all of the tools necessary to be a starter somewhere on the offensive line. He doesn't look like a left tackle to me at this point. I think that he could be an absolutely elite offensive guard. I think he can be a right tackle. I think right tackle is probably the right home for Kingsley Suamataia. Unfortunately, right tackle is the home of Jawaan Taylor. Right tackle is probably the correct home for Wanye Morris. So either way, I think we will get a win or at least a push out of Kingsley Suamataia. Then there's Jared Wiley, who was getting lots of snaps before his injury. He just wasn't getting the targets. That might have been to do with the fact that at that time especially, Patrick Mahomes was struggling with having guys kind of in the right place sometimes, struggling with having the time to make the throw. I don't know what the disconnect was between Jared Wiley and Patrick Mahomes, but the connection just wasn't there. I think Jared Wiley is going to be at least a Noah Gray type player. And look, say at least a Noah Gray type player, but I think he has the potential to be a starter in the NFL. I'm not sold on giving that a win at this point, but the potential is there. 7th round pick, offensive guard CJ Hansen, as well as UDFA offensive tackle Ethan Driscoll, have both been on the active roster the entire season. Guys, for a 7th round pick, that's a win. Guys, for a UDFA at tackle, that's a win. Then we have to look, obviously, at UDFA Christian Roland Wallace, who has played 69 snaps of defense, nice, and 171 snaps of special teams. Guys, that's a win as well. Christian Roland Wallace, and this is going to sound hokey, this is going to sound silly to you. I understand that. One of the biggest regrets I have during the course of this channel is I make that playlist of videos, which is a video dedicated to each draft pick, right? And after the draft, I make a video dedicated to each of the UDFA that I think will make the team. I didn't make one for Christian Roland Wallace. Now, I made a recap of the UDFA class video where I said Christian Roland Wallace is likely an NFL player. I just don't know if it's with the Kansas City Chiefs. At the time, I thought the Chiefs had too much depth at the defensive back positions for Christian Roland Wallace to make the roster. I was wrong. He made the roster. He's getting defensive reps, not just special teams. Either way, having Christian Roland Wallace on the roster is a win. And I am saying all of this at the conclusion of a video about Jaden Hicks for this reason. Jaden Hicks is sort of emblematic of what this rookie class, is going to end up looking like. Not a whole lot of reps at first. Establishes himself in the practice field. Establishes himself in the meeting rooms. Gets a few more opportunities. All of a sudden, he's producing. Just like the article states here. Against Denver, he played 16 reps. That was a season high. The next 2 weeks, Buffalo and Carolina, he went down to 12. Those were not season highs, but they would have been a season high if not for the Denver game. And then you have him setting another season high against the Raiders with 24 reps. And if you want to look all the way back, week, what is that? Was that 6 against the 49ers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 against the 40. No, 1, 2. Yeah, 6. I'm sure this is absolutely scintillating to watch me count lines. But week 6 against the 49ers, he set a season high with 7 reps of defense. The next week against the Raiders, a season high with 9 reps of defense. The next week against the Buccaneers, he tied that season high with 9 reps of defense. Then the 16 reps, another season high. Down to 12 reps, down to 12 reps, up to 24 reps. Basically, he has been ascending since that 49ers game. I think that is the general trajectory we're going to get for a lot of these rookies. This is a team that has won 2 consecutive Super Bowls. This is a team that has been to how many AFC Championship games, how many division titles. This is a team that has players in place. So right now, these rookies aren't getting a whole lot of action. But I think that they will, and I think all of them have most of them, I think all of them, have the tools to be the type of successful that Jaden Hicks is proving himself to be. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Kansas City Chiefs are the only thing that I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.